I'm Dave. I'm a certified Cicerone and home brewer, and we're here today in 29 Palms, California. I'm with my friend Roy. This is Beer Room 101, where we discuss the pleasure of beer and the worst things in the world. We are having a West Coast IPA at the original Joshua Tree Brewery.
Cheers.
Cheers. And as you can see, it's nice and clear.
As you can see, it's half gone.
Oh boy. Oh, this is really nice. This is, I think, a really good example of this style beer, which doesn't have like a lot of alcoholic heat or anything. It's definitely hoppy, and that's really the intent. And if you'll notice, I have my beer hat with me, and what I do with this, if it's sunny and bright out as it is today in this part of the state, sometimes I like to have it handy so I can put it over my beer, and then that way it protects it from daylight and getting skunked, or having the hop compounds in the beer react to daylight.
Well, I know another solution to that.
What's that?
Drink it.
Yes. But it can ruin a beer in seconds.
Yes.
And especially, with, you've got exposure coming from every direction, and of course it would be more of a threat if we were in the direct sunlight, but a beer can get skunked in seconds, and that reaction creates a chemical compound called mercaptan, which is the same chemical compound as skunk spray.
Okay.
Yeah, which you don't really want. The fortunate thing about this dynamic is that humans adapt to that taste very quickly.
Ew.
Yeah.
I think it is not a good sign for evolution. We are not having a beardy boy with a plaid shirt and tight jeans saying, would you like the apple pie beer? Or the lemon custard beer? Or the banana souffle beer?
Or watermelon?
Or the watermelon surprise. The surprise is that we don't even really know what it is, because they all taste like Ginate and pussy. So, stick with a real beer and you will not be disappointed.
And would you say that this tastes like a real beer?
Yes. This is what I like. I like this, or a little bit more bitter. I like bitter. I'm always trying to find something more bitter than myself.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, I think we came to the right place.
Yes.
Because here at Joshua Tree Brewery, this was one of the 3 beers that they're featuring on tap. Now, I think it would be fair to say that this is a nano brewery.
Yes.
And, it's modest, but this is a nice place to be, I think. And I really kind of champion these kinds of places because people are doing what they really love.
Exactly, and they don't allow plaid. No plaid, no beards. Why are beards still a thing? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm scruffy, but that's not a lifestyle.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a regular place, and I don't know if you can see the wall.
Sure.
I don't know if you can see our table is really just a pallet on cinder blocks, and we're on plastic chairs. And the highway is there, and the dog has luckily gotten some food, but it's not pretentious. You can just sit here and enjoy. There's no 60,000 beats a second music playing.
Right.
Like drink to the beat. You can just look at the mountains and feel the breeze and have a nice afternoon.
I'm finding as I'm getting older, I'd like to know what you think, that I really cherish authenticity.
So authenticity as separate from something that's like a forced uniqueness.
Yes.
Like up in Portland, where it's all beards and plaid, once again, and it's like, be weird. They're like forcing you to be strange or weird, and there you're drinking the watermelon, what is it?
Right, with bacon donuts.
Yes, exactly.
The Beer Room 101 question for you. What would you say is one of the more loathsome things or trappings of the beer industry?
Loud, bad music.
Okay.
Women. Seriously.
Women just...
Are they going to sit at a pallet and have a beer and shut up? None of those things are they going to do. None of them. Okay?
Right, but is that more annoying than lemon custard flavored beer?
Oh, you want that kind of thing, you have to go to like the Glitter Club and with the high energy music in the afternoon.
Where is the Glitter?
Go to Palm Springs. There will be plenty.
Really? Okay.
Okay. But yes, no.
Okay.
I would strip everything down. So we're back to what you're saying about authentic and not forced uniqueness.
As human beings, we're living in a period in history where people have more comfort.
Well, you know, we see this in California more than in other places because I don't care what day of the year it is, we have every variety of fruit available in the supermarket. So if you were making lemon custard or whatever, those things are available. In other parts of the country, that may not be true. In other parts of the world, in other time periods, you know, an orange was a luxury. It was a very expensive luxury.
Yes.
And so even just orange peel in your beer.
Yeah.
That's considered. It's not just, okay, we're going to do this, and if it's crappy, we pour it out for the animals.
Yeah.
So I think you're right that we are living in a time that has been both fabulous, wonderful, great for us, and it has also given us the apple pie beer.
Right.
So, you know, the lowest and the highest simultaneously.
Right. Something that comes to mind is... I remember asking my mother once why my grandparents loved going to Kmart.
I'm ready to hear this.
And she gave a very concise answer, which was they love the variety. And that was something within their lifetimes they weren't used to.
Sure.
That was not something they took for granted. Most people in the developed world live better than a Roman emperor would have back in the olden days.
Yes.
More comfortably, I guess you could say.
Well, not only more comfortably, but as we were saying earlier, you go to the supermarket and there's any fruit you want available. Mm-hmm. And piles of it.
Right.
Not one orange brought in from Morocco or something like that.
Sure.
And so, yes, we've got more choices, or at least the illusion of choices. If you're at the Glitter bar, you are only getting the watermelon surprise. Surprise! Look what you got. And there's not a lot of this kind of. You have choices. You have too many choices, but you don't necessarily have good choices. And we're here, and there's only 3 or 5 things to choose from.
Yeah.
But we like them all.
What kind of food would you pair this beer with?
It's difficult for me because I'm vegan.
Yes.
Except for Dave the Cowboy. But, I always think that beer goes with something heartier. So not raw vegetables, not a salad quite so much, unless there are some, like sometimes you cook things for a salad, like saute mushrooms or something.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to have something cooked.
Or what about cooked beets?
I would have beets with this. That would be a nice complement. The flavors would be very good. And you probably don't cook beets just alone, but you put, almonds in with it, and
walnuts, maybe?
Walnuts, or and a few my brain is beard, not beard, and I don't know, celery, but you've cooked a little combination of things that have a richness to it that then will hold itself up against this instead of fight against it.
Right.
Which a crudité or a general salad would do.
Right. It's interesting. So the subject of walnuts or almonds, like those kinds of things, like walnuts to me have a little bit of a bitter aftertaste.
Yes, they do.
And that's something I guess I hadn't really thought of that could kind of line up with this or be complementary to it.
And when you cook them or saute them, it brings out those flavors.
Yeah.
And toasting almonds, for example.
Sure.
Or some of these other nuts to just get a little bit of the richness of that flavor, because these have rich nutty flavors in them.
Right. And walnuts and almonds, I think, well, maybe walnuts a little more, kind of have an oiliness.
Yes, they do.
To them.
Almonds are the least oily of nuts.
Right. Like, what would another oily nut be? Pine
like a cashew.
Yeah, cashews.
Cashews are very oily.
Yeah. But, I mean, this could, like, cut right through it.
Yeah.
Just, that's kind of something neat to think about.
So even if it weren't a meal, even if we're just sitting and drinking, which happens to be what we do, and you had, instead of some gross, disgusting can of beer mix things that everyone puts their filthy hands into, and disgusting.
You don't like the phosphorus looking?
No, none of that. But
all right.
If you pan fried in a dry pan with spices, a handful of nuts and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then that's nice to pick with your beer.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, when I was here a couple months ago, when we had lunch, I had a salad with chickpeas.
Yes.
On it with an IPA.
I think that also had some walnuts in the salad.
It might. Yeah, I think it did.
I think it had walnuts, and I think that they had, well, maybe in mine, they had grilled Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
So you've got that little burnt flavor, which I love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And so those kinds of flavors are what a good beer like this, to me.
Yeah.
That's what you want to pair.
Yeah. Now, something else I'd like to mention: pairing an IPA with a dessert, and one of them was carrot cake, because carrot cake has the cream cheese frosting,
right,
with walnuts,
right,
in it, and then I thought it was just heavenly. That is an example.
I think I can see that. I think I can.
Yeah, and as a dessert pairing, this, and also cheesecake,
right?
Because it's so fatty and creamy. The clean kind of quality that this has just cuts right through all that, and it's an excellent foil for it. I think. I just love that, and it's been ages since I've tried it. But I think that's one of the nicest things about beer, and one of the more interesting things is that it does pair very well with desserts.
So, certain desserts, like I wouldn't put it with a light cake, but like a flourless chocolate cake, which is basically walnuts, as you were saying. Or a heavy, dense brownie like that. I could see those kinds of flavors going together also.
Well, on that note, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
This has really been wonderful. Thanks for being with us. That's all we have for today, but please be sure to like and subscribe. All right.